and I reckoned we would arrive at our new house around lunchtime. We decided to picnic there. Over the final miles, I drove through Maddleskirk with its impressive Benedictine abbey, then found myself in Aidensfield. This is a beautiful village, built snugly into a steep hillside so that no northern wind can chill its homes. The southern sun warms them all, and the spring daffodils bloom 3 weeks ahead of those in less congenial climes, like my hilltop. I passed through Aidensfield very slowly, looking at the squat parish church, the ultra-modern Catholic church, the friendly pub, the garage and the village shop, all within 100 yards of one another. 1 or 2 people pottered along that peaceful street, and I wondered if they realised that the battered old hillman cruising suspiciously slowly contained their new bobby. Once up the steep hill at the distant end of Aidensfield, I turned right, and there, standing magnificently on its own hilltop site, was that lovely police house. It was 10 minutes to 1, and the children were as excited as a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old could be. I steered the gallant old vehicle through the open gate of the police house and halted on the concrete drive. The house was empty, of course, the previous occupants having been moved out that same morning. Happily, the day was fine and dry, but many is the time policemen have moved house during rain or snow, to suffer the indignity of wet-footed removal men tramping all over clean floors. We were very fortunate to have such a lovely day in June. The key, I had previously been told, would be concealed in the garage, under a half-full tin of paint. I found it, and from the attached label saw it was for the front door. By now, the children were pottering about the spacious lawn, exploring their new territory with a curiosity that could lead to problems, but Mary decided to leave them there, took the key, and together we approached our front entrance. We were surprised to find a cabbage in a string bag hanging from the doorknob. Mary looked at me for guidance, and I looked at the cabbage. It seemed a good, solid cabbage, but there was no note, and no indication of its raison d'etre. Initially, I suspected some form of skullduggery, and therefore decided to examine the other doors before taking further action. Was it full of sneezing powder? Or water? Was it a plastic one? I advised Mary to keep well away from the object, and made my way to the back door leading into the kitchen. It was located in a passage, access to which was through an outer door next to the garage. This was not locked, so I opened it, turned towards the kitchen, and found a brace of wood pigeons hanging from that doorknob. Then, on the office door, was a monster of a hare. As we would say in Yorkshire dialect, it was a great old ramcat of a hare. I knew of the age-old custom of giving presents to county policemen, but here was I, on my very first day at Aidensfield, with presents all around me, and not a single hint as to their origins. Having discovered the fur and feather, I accepted the cabbage for what it was, a useful gift. It was a lovely welcome. I unlocked the door, and with due solemnity carried Mary across the threshold, and the children followed, shouting and running about the entrance hall and ground-floor rooms in sheer exuberance. They'd have to stop that caper when the van arrived. To the right of the entrance hall was the door into my office. The office had a door leading into the garden, but that was seldom used. Most of the callers came to the front door of the house. The office had a counter across the middle with shelves beneath it, and in the centre was an official-looking desk and telephone. The house was in a state of complete cleanliness, thanks to the outgoing couple, and we could move straight in. On the left, immediately inside the door, was the staircase, and already 2 of the youngsters were scrambling noisily up the bare wooden steps. Jane was too young to attempt such feats, so she accompanied Mary and me as we examined the house. The dining room had a plain-looking electric fire and a window looking south. Next to it was the lounge with a fireplace for coal blazes and a window looking south. Those views were glorious, taking in an entire valley with conifers beyond, scattered farms below, and the distant wolds of the East Riding of Yorkshire. The kitchen was unbelievably tiny, and there was an ancient coke boiler in one corner with a pantry beneath the stairs. The kitchen door led out into the back passage near the garage, where I'd found the pigeons. Upstairs were 2 reasonable bedrooms, with windows looking south, plus a smaller one, with windows looking north, and a bathroom, with windows looking north. A big garden, with soft fruit, vegetables, and flowers, sloped away from the house on its southern aspect, just beyond the lawn underneath the lounge and dining room windows. There would be about 1/3 of an acre of garden, much of it allowed to go to waste, but about 1/4 of which had been cultivated.